Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. Now, we've recently returned from a few days travelling, and I'm hoping this video is proof you can have some winter sun on a tight budget without breaking the bank. Certainly, for what we spent on this short break, would have been very much comparable with what we would have spent if we'd stayed somewhere here in the UK in this pre-Christmas period. So where did we intend going? Well, I fancied a city break, whilst Mrs. Out and About with Andy fancied some winter sun. To throw another spanner into the works, Mrs. Out and About with Andy needed to use the last of her holiday entitlement up by the end of November, so we were stuck with a specific date. It needed to be a city break, somewhere warm, and to throw another spanner into the works. Yes, we didn't have a lot of money to throw at this holiday either. So the challenge was on. Could we find a 3-night break for less than £100 per night, including flights? If you know us by now, then you'll know that we've stayed in some absolutely fantastic hotels and some pretty terrible ones. But one thing's for sure, as long as it's clean and livable, we're pretty much good. So what did we find by searching the internet? Well, through Love Holidays, not sponsored by the way, but if you're watching, get in touch. 3 nights in Las Palmas, Gran Canaria, staying at the 2-star self-catering Miami apartments. We'll come back to those shortly. Flying from Newcastle International on everyone's least favourite airline, Ryanair. As we were tight on the budget, we elected for the underseat carry-on bag only. And no transfers either. We'll be taking the regular service bus from the airport to Las Palmas. Incidentally, this cost €4.80 for the two of us one way, much cheaper than a taxi or indeed a transfer. Google Maps was there to get us to our accommodation without any issue, so onto our apartment. To be fair, it is 2-star self-catering, and here is our footage from when we first arrived. The plus points: it's clean, it's got a fridge and a kettle, the shower works really well, and it's cheap. The negatives? Well, there's no aircon in this apartment. That was okay in November, probably a bit warm though in high season. It did feel a little bit like a student bedsit, but for the price, there really aren't any reasons to complain. This isn't our first visit to the capital of Gran Canaria. A few years back we came here to explore Vegeta, Las Palmas' old town. If you've never visited Las Palmas, I highly recommend you do visit Vegeta. It is stunning, especially the cathedral. This time, however, we wanted to see some of the other areas of Las Palmas, including the beaches and the huge promenade with its many bars, restaurants and shops. There was another major attraction I didn't visit last time, and that was one that I really wanted to see on this visit. Day 1. We woke to pretty poor conditions, and a weather warning was in place for high tides and stormy seas. We decided to take a walk along the promenade all the same. Certainly we found that the stormy weather didn't put off the local surfers. This part of Las Palmas may not have the prettiest architecture, but there is plenty of character with the colourful buildings and vibrant street art. This piece is dedicated to Julian. It reads, "Nothing is forever, but make it unforgettable." Wise words indeed. As we came to the end of the promenade, we came across this sculpture. We weren't sure who this chap was. It turns out he's Alfredo Kraus, a Spanish tenor born here in Las Palmas in November 1927. His father was Austrian, hence the rather Germanic surname. Alfredo sadly passed away in 1999, and this statue and the auditorium behind him is dedicated to his memory. Morning over, and all that walking, we'd worked up an appetite. We decided to head back to our apartment for something to eat. In true budget fashion, €17 spent in Super Dino sorted out lunch. After food and a short siesta, hey, when in Rome, nothing to do with needing a nana nap at our age, we stepped out again to check out the local park right next to our apartment, which happens to have a cat lady statue, which, as we're missing our own little feline, was pretty cool with us. The park looks as if it's going to be part of Las Palmas' Christmas celebrations, which in typical out and about with Andy style will be happening on the day we land back in the UK. Park explore over, we headed back up the promenade and saw more festival preparations. So folks, check out the fantastic sand sculptures behind me there. Just come across these. I presume they're being set up for the festival that's upcoming here in La Palma. There's plenty of Christmas activities happening over the next few days for the next month. We also saw some traditional fishing boats whose days are sadly numbered due to the huge commercial fishing vessels currently stripping the seas. It was time to get dressed for dinner. I'd love to have recommended the restaurant we ate at, however the 2 dishes we ordered were so heavily salted, it's one to avoid. Day 1 over with, 19k steps walked, it was us ready for a good night's sleep. Day 2, up bright and not so early, it was off to the aquarium, which we'll cover in another video. Suffice to say, it was well worth the entrance fee and we were entertained for over 4 hours. I think it's safe to say it was possibly the best aquarium I've ever been to. Well done, Gran Canaria. After grabbing a bite to eat, we had a short wander, but with my phone now full of data and out of battery, it wasn't something I was able to capture. Fully charged, it was time to head out and take in Las Palmas at night and find a restaurant for an evening meal. So folks, I thought we'd do a little bit of a video to show you La Palma at night. Just wandering up one of the streets off to the seafront. We're off to find a bite to eat and thought we'd bring you along with us. So guys, 20 past 8, 21 degrees still. It's been very warm today, about 30 degrees, and it's still very warm now. We didn't get much further up the promenade because we stopped here, which is Madre, for a bite to eat, and say the food was really good, and yeah, we're going to head home now. Our last day required us to be at the airport for 5 PM, so we checked out and just had a relaxing wander, trying some local tapas, having a few beers, and just generally enjoying Las Palmas. Las Palmas is a popular stop-off point for cruise ships. Conveniently next to the docks are the open-top bus tours. We did think about taking one, but at just over 20 euros each for a 1 hour tour, we thought it was a bit expensive. This ship is a replica of the ship that took Christopher Columbus to the Americas. Gran Canaria was a stop-off point for Columbus before heading off to the Dominican Republic. Sadly, the ship has been subject to an arson attack recently. A short walk away is the Elder Museum of Science and Technology. We didn't have time to visit, but well worth a look according to the TripAdvisor reviews. As it was now lunchtime, we headed back over to the promenade. Energetic folks were playing volleyball and other sports, but we elected for some more refreshments. Well guys, it's absolutely melting here in Las Palmas today. 28 degrees Celsius, not quite as hot as it was yesterday, but I'm carrying all the luggage around because we've had to check out of our apartment, so we're just having a wander, getting a bite to eat and having a beer right now. So yeah, we're just chilling out, waiting to get the bus back to the airport and then pick up our flight home. One last look at the sea and it was time to head off to the bus station. So what did we think of our little break to Las Palmas? Well, to be honest, we both felt as if we could have really done with an extra day. But that aside, everything was fine, the flights were pretty decent, and the accommodation was pretty good for what we paid for it. We were happy with that, and certainly it was another good experience. I thoroughly enjoyed my trip to the aquarium, which you'll see in another video very shortly, and that's very much worth a visit. It did blow the budget a little bit because it was about 50 euros for the two of us to get in. Again, it was 4 hours entertainment for the both of us. We had a really good time visiting that. There were some parks we could have gone and visited in La Palma, so there's still some unfinished business there because we didn't see everything. Maybe we'll go back, but it probably isn't top of our lists to head back there just now. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please do give it a thumbs up. Really helps the channel out an awful lot. And as ever, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now. Cheers everybody.